What is up, guys? It's Swimmer here, back again with some more Master League action. I do apologize that it's been so long since I made a video. I was out of town for the Labor Day weekend, had no cell reception or internet, or at least not very reliable internet, so didn't battle for a few days there, and um, had just sort of a busy week. I am back into battling now, and I've had a decent couple of days, so I've climbed up to 28, 27 with these battles. And uh, so I'm pretty close to rank 10. I just need to get 60 points a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with Monday as my buffer day if I don't manage to make it. So let's go ahead and get right into the battles. So because I was away, I didn't want to swap leagues because it takes a little bit of time to get used to a new league. So on this lead here, we get a Shadow Mewtwo, and then they swap in their Dialga. We're going to bring in Groudon. We were slow on that swap, though. That's really bad to be slow on that swap because it means that, well, first I'm going to have to shield this Iron Head up, and then we're going to go for the Fire Punch, hoping that they shield, but they're probably not going to be honest. They don't shield. Going to go for another Fire Punch, but they're going to get to another charge move, so just waited a little too long to throw it, and I'm going to have to double shield, which is really not very good. Plus, we CMP tie, so I'm not able to farm any more energy, so this isn't looking good for us. The Mewtwo's likely going to be coming back in. Fortunately, they are going to have to throw some energy. We do go straight for the Earthquake, hoping that they weren't keeping track of our energy. They do shield, however, so that's not great for us. We're going to go ahead and go for a Fire Punch, though. Just want to get as much chip damage onto this Mewtwo as we can and punish them if they decide not to throw their energy. So, getting to another Fire Punch. This is actually pretty good. It's going to force the second shield. So we do get the second shield, and then I make a call here. I assume that they're running Focus Blast, so I bring in Dialga and then instantly swap into Mewtwo, but it's a Shadow Ball. So bye-bye Mewtwo. I was really thinking that I was going to be able to take out, absorb a Focus Blast on that Mewtwo, which would have been great, but instead it was a Shadow Ball. So that's really bad. That's basically GG's here. I'm going to be able to get to a Draco Meteor on this Snorlax, but basically failing to call my opponent's moveset correctly on the Mewtwo cost me the game there, because they're going to be able to get to a charge move with about 3 HP here. One more Dragon Breath, and I think we would have been able to take them out, but that's going to be a good game. So despite the mistake of letting the Dialga throw another charge move, just slightly miscounting on my mud shots, and I guess that's what being late to the switch does. It makes you miscount. It was really close, but I guessed wrong on my opponent's moveset. So obviously, absorbing the Shadow Ball on Dialga would have been much better. They would have had to throw all of their energy at me to take me out, and then I would have had Mewtwo in the back for Snorlax, and it would have been a much better situation. Alright, here we get a Kyogre on the lead. This is good for us, although not as good as you would think, because the Kyogre does resist the Iron Head, and waterfall damage still adds up. So in the Zero Shield, you guys are going to see that Kyogre actually gets Dialga very low. So we do take another Surf here, and we are very low. However, we are going to be able to get to an Iron Head on whatever's coming in. It's very nice. This chip damage on the Dialga is pretty good. So we're going to come in with Groudon now, and because of that chip damage, it's basically like we got an extra Fire Punch on them. So we're going to go ahead and shield up the Iron Head here, and then build up as much energy as we can, and then just go for Fire Punch, because Earthquake is really overkill at this point. So we're going to go for Fire Punch here, and this is going to get Dialga quite low enough that we can probably farm down. We are going to go for the farm down. They actually do a great swap, though, into Giratina. As I was dropping the Fire Punch, thinking that it was better to take them out before they got to another Iron Head. That last match very fresh in my mind there. So that's not great for us. We do get off an Earthquake here, and then we're just going to continue to build up. We are going to have to shield because we don't want Mewtwo to have to go up against this Giratina. So we're going to go for the Fire Punch bait. I'm hoping that I can still get to an Earthquake. We'll be very close, and if nothing else, we do get to an Earthquake, so that's quite good. Um, and that gets them very low. However, they are going to be able to drop a Shadow Ball onto the Mewtwo here. Maybe it would have been better to stay in with Groudon and force them to use that, or force potentially a Faint down with the Mud Shots. I'm not sure. But very, very close match there, as the Shadow Ball almost took out the Mewtwo, and then the Dialga took out the Groudon. So bad lead here with the Groudon. So we're going to swap straight ahead into Mewtwo, and they bring in their Giratina. So this is all right. We're going to build up to the Shadow Ball and then go for Psystrike. If you build up to Shadow Ball, it's fairly reliable that you can get a shield from this matchup. We do get a shield. And then this is too fast to be anything other than Ominous Wind, so I'm not going to shield myself. It is just an Ominous Wind. And then we're going to go for another Psystrike. This is going to deal quite a lot of damage to the Giratina. And then we're perfectly happy to let Mewtwo go down here. It gave us shield advantage and got its counter fairly low, so we're going to come in and farm down with Dialga. We are not going to shield, because we know that that Groudon in the back is going to have quite a favorable matchup against us. So expecting the Groudon to come back in. It is Groudon coming back in, going for an Iron Head here. And then I'm going to go ahead and swap out into my own Groudon. This is pretty good because now we got 2 shields to none against their Groudon. We're going to build up a little bit of extra energy and then go for the Earthquake, making sure that we get it off before they drop the Iron Head. So this is pretty good for us. Going to take out the Dialga, and then their Groudon's going to come back in, and they choose to surrender the match there. I could have just double shielded, even if I double shielded Fire Punches, be able to make it to the Earthquake to take them out before they could get to enough charge moves. So a couple rough games to start off the set, but glad to get a win there. Hopefully we can still make this set positive. Looking for a match here. I think it's taken a little bit while. I think I had to rejoin the lobby, or the queue here. It was taking a little while to find a match. But with just 3 or 4 days left to go in Season 3, I'm really hoping that I can make some good inroads in the next few days. Really want to get to rank 10, want that second Pikachu Libre, so fingers crossed that I can have a few good days and make it. With the gains from winning being so high right now, all it takes is a couple good days, but at the same time, one bad day can basically ruin your chances. So Giratina on the lead here. This is a favorable lead for us. We're going to go to deal as much damage as we can, and then they bring in Metagross. We're going to go ahead and go straight to Groudon, and they're able to get to the Meteor Mash just before we get to the Earthquake, so we're going to go ahead and shield this, and then we're going to farm up a bunch of extra energy, get to basically 100 energy, and drop the Earthquake. They're very unlikely to shield because this is such an unfavorable matchup for them. They don't shield, and Giratina is coming back in. This is going to be a Shadow Ball, but we can survive and still get to the Earthquake to even out the shields again. Either that or take out the Giratina, which would be just as good for us. So we do take out the Giratina, that's great, and it's an Excadrill in the back, so this is pretty interesting. I'm going to come in with Dialga. Even though it's weak to it, the Dragon Breath damage is going to add up. And this Iron Head is going to force a shield, and that's really what I need to do, is take some shields away so Mewtwo can get off some Psystrikes, because that's going to be what deals the most damage. We are not going to shield this charge move. We want to save the shield for the Mewtwo. And then we are going to build up to double Psystrike. We need to threaten the Focus Blast. Even though a Psystrike at this range would likely take them out, threatening the Focus Blast will still guarantee that we get that shield. And plus, we can deny them an extra Mud Slap if we build up to 2. So first Side Strike gets the shield, second Side Strike should be enough to take it out. It is going to be squishier than a Dialga, and I think it would barely take out a Dialga from that range, so that's going to be a good game, able to take out the Excadrill with the Mewtwo in the back. So Excadrill is definitely a spicy pick, but it honestly just lacks the raw stats that some of those other Master League heavyweights have. Alright, Melmetal on the lead, not great for us, so we're going to go ahead and swap into Mewtwo. They're getting to a Rock Slide here. It's very important to be quick on the swap. If you can do it in a half turn, that's great, because it means that when they drop the Rock Slide, you'll actually catch up in energy, because they'll cut your animation short. Dialga comes in, so going to go for the Side Strike after building to the Focus Blast. Going to go now for the Focus Blast, hoping that we take them out, to be honest. However, they do decide to double shield, so not great for us, especially because they didn't throw their energy, but going to come in with Dialga now. And we are just going to go ahead and let them hit us with some Iron Heads. I think that we should be able to survive one more Iron Head and get to one ourselves. So we do get to an Iron Head here, and then we're going to swap out into Groudon and trust in double shielded Groudon to win us this match. However, they have a Dragonite in the back, so that's going to be a good game. Honestly, I don't think that there was a way to win this given that I didn't win Switch Advantage, because if I'd come in with the Groudon onto the Dialga, I would have had to shield the Iron Head likely, and then go for an Earthquake, which would have taken it out, but then they just would have brought in the Dragonite then, and I would have been stuck Melmetal against the my Dialga. So Dragonite's a really hard counter to this team. Going to go for the Earthquake. I honestly, maybe going double Fire Punch is better. I'm not really sure. I think they're probably about the same. Try to swap into Dialga, Dragon Breath down really quickly. Not quite able to do it. And they are able to get to another charge move here. Basically, I was hoping that by some miracle I might be able to Mudshot the Dragonite down, Earthquake the Melmetal, and then Mudshot down the Dialga as well, but not able to do so. So 2-5 on that first set, not great, dropping 16 points or maybe a little more. So hopefully we can turn it around on this second set. And we get a Giratina on the lead. So this is quite favorable for us. Gonna go straight into Groudon to match their Dialga switch. So able to get there pretty quick, and then we actually CMP tie, so this is not great. I usually only like to go for the Fire Punch bait if I get there before they drop a charge move. But if I don't, it's very unlikely that they're going to shield this, because they just dropped their energy, so they'd be perfectly happy to leave with a shield advantage. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and go for another Fire Punch. And then I'm going to risk it for the biscuit and go for the farm down. They're going to be very close to an Iron Head. But we do manage to get the farm down, so this is pretty good, because we are going to be able to get that shield back by going for the Earthquake on the Giratina. So we do get the shield back, quite good for us. Could have gone for a Fire Punch there, but forcing them to use the energy here is just as good. And if I'd gone for the Fire Punch, I would have no longer had the threat of Earthquake. They go for a quick swap into Melmetal, so I'm going to be forced to bring in Mewtwo. So this is going to be tight. Basically what I'm going to do is build up to double Side Strike, and then I'm not going to shield anything that they have. I want to save that shield for Dialga. I can survive 2 Rock Slides and a bunch of Thunder Shocks, so I'm going to go for double Side Strike. Hopefully this gets the shield, but if it doesn't, I'm just going to keep spamming Side Strikes. So it didn't get the shield, so I'm going to keep going for Side Strike after Side Strike. They're going to have to shield something eventually, or I'm going to take out the Melmetal. Either is fine. And we are getting another Side Strike through here. So this is hopefully going to get the shield. I'm going to try and swap quickly into Dialga to Dragon Breath down. However, they actually swap at the same time, which is even better for me, because it means that basically what I can do is just save my shield. And then Dragon Breath down and have the charge move ready for Melmetal, and I win CMP against Melmetal. So I'm going to go for the Draco Meteor. Obviously, Iron Head would be enough, but uh, no reason not to go for the Draco there. So able to take that matchup in the first game. So really good. That's the way I like to play Mewtwo into Melmetal is build up for the Focus Blast, and then go for Side Strike if they shield, Focus Blast on the next one. If they don't shield, then just go straight Side Strike all the way down. Focus Blast is overkill at that point. And because 2 Side Strikes gets them fairly low on its own. So another Giratina on the lead here, another pretty favorable matchup. They swap into Groudon, and I'm very slow to get into Mewtwo. Fortunately, this is one of the matchups where being slow isn't terrible because the extra Dragon Breath damage is nice, and in order to threaten you, they have to build up to the Earthquake, and we successfully shield the first Earthquake. So this is really good. That's going to put us in a pretty commanding spot. Going to go for the side strike. We go for back-to-back side strikes, and they don't get in a mud shot, so that's quite good for us. That one does connect, and at this point, I'm just going to shield one more time. If it's a fire punch, I'm going to have to throw. If it's an earthquake, which it is, I'm going to be able to farm down without needing to throw another charge move. So this is really good. I've got a ton of extra energy on this Mewtwo. And it's a Melmetal coming in, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting to double Side Strike this Giratina. Instead, I'm going to go for Side Strike on this Melmetal. Have a little bit of lag there. Going to go for another Side Strike. This is not going to KO. Rock Slide will not take us out from this range. That lag doesn't end up really making any difference. We still got all our fast moves through. And we're still going to be able to get to 2 Side Strikes. We do get the shield on that first one, so that's great for us. And we're just going to keep going for Side Strikes. We're going to be able to get to another one. So this Melmetal was building up a little bit too much extra energy, getting greedy on that farm, and we're able to take them out. And then they just go ahead and surrender, come back in with Giratina, because there's really no hope for them at that point. Since I do have Dialga in the back, which will handily beat Giratina, and a third Pokemon that they hadn't seen yet. So just got a little bit too greedy with the Melmetal, and being able to completely farm down that Groudon, shielding 2 Earthquakes is absolutely huge. So Groudon on the lead isn't favorable for us, so we're going to go ahead and swap into Mewtwo. And that was way too fast to be an Earthquake, so we take the Fire Punch. Going to build up to 99 energy and go for the Side Strike, hoping to get a shield here. We don't get a shield, but we are going to go now for another Side Strike. Given that they didn't shield the first one, I just want to get as much damage as we can. We do get a shield on that one, and we're going to be able to get to a third here, which is going to get them quite low. So we do get the Giratina or the Dialga very low. Going to come in with Groudon and farm some energy here. Will shield up the charge move. Could be a Draco, but basically I know that I can farm them down before they could get to an Iron Head and a Draco, even if they were already at 100 energy. So Groudon is coming in. Going to go straight for the Earthquake after building up a lot of energy, hoping to get it through. They have no energy, so I know I have a big energy advantage on them. And then they actually swap into Melmetal. So this is a very interesting play. I go ahead and go for Earthquake. I probably should have just gone for Fire Punch knowing that they'll shield, but I'm fairly certain that I can get to another charge move without any difficulty. So gonna not shield. I probably should have shielded the first superpower. Would have made a lot more sense. I just wanted to... I wasn't sure if 2 would take me out. I was pretty sure it would, but then I'm going to go for double Fire Punch. I actually thought that 1 Fire Punch would be enough to take them out now that they were double debuffed. But it wasn't, so I wanted to have that second Fire Punch banked for the Groudon coming back in. But instead, we are going to be able to force that Groudon to throw with 1 HP, and you can't have both a Fire Punch and an Earthquake banked, so Dialga is going to be able to come in and do 1 Dragon Breath and take out the Groudon. But they definitely had a lot of energy, so they were pretty close to the Earthquake as well. So almost through the game there by not going for the Earthquake, but ended up being fine. All right, so second set is going pretty well so far. At a 3-0, going up against Ray's 1299 here, and it's a Groudon on the lead. So another Groudon, going to swap straight away into Mewtwo, and it's a Giratina. It is an Altered Giratina though, so not going to be dealing nearly as much damage. Going to go for Psy Strike. If I can get a shield off this Giratina, that would be amazing. We do get a shield. And then we're going to go for another Psy Strike. They're not likely to shield again, so no sense really building up to the Shadow Ball anymore. We do get some damage through. This is likely going to be a Dragon Claw. I'm guessing they're going to want a Dragon Claw and farm down, which is what they do. However, they decide to throw another charge move, knowing that I might be able to get to another Psy Strike there, which is another Dragon Claw. So totally fine. Going to be able to come in and farm this down with Dialga. We likely will take at least one Dragon Claw, maybe two. Yeah, we do take two Dragon Claws here, but that's totally fine. Dragon Claw doesn't deal a lot of damage, and Giratina just doesn't have a very high attack stat. Expecting the Groudon to come back in, we're going to go... this is going to be a Fire Punch. There's no way they would use an Earthquake, and I don't think they have the energy. So we're still going to be able to make it to this Draco. And then we're going to swap out straight into our own Groudon, and they have a Zekrom in the back, which is going to be a GG. We have two shields. They just have one. I could go straight for Earthquake and comfortably beat that Zekrom, so my opponent surrenders. So really good match. They're able to basically get a big energy advantage on Dialga by farming down the Giratina, so that we can take out the Groudon with the Draco Meteor, and then our Groudon had two shields for whatever was in the back. So all right, and Giratina altered on the lead here. So gonna go Dragon Breath, build up to the Draco Meteor, and then go for the Iron Head here. They're going to just be throwing a ton of Dragon Claws my way, which is totally fine. This is a lot closer of a matchup than I would expect, to be honest. It's kind of astonishing how well Giratina does in this matchup. So going to go for the Iron Head here. This is not quite going to take out the Giratina. And they're actually going to be able to get to another Dragon Claw to take me out. So I really thought that Dialga won the Zero Shield, but apparently not, because I just lost. But I'm going to come in with Groudon and get one fast move advantage. They come in with Mewtwo, and I was trying to catch the Psy Strike on the switch here, failed this to do so, so I'm going to go ahead and shield, and then going to go ahead and now try and catch it the second time. We do catch it the second time, so this is much better for us. We've got a lot of loaded energy on that Groudon, and basically we want to threaten this Mewtwo with a Shadow Ball. So we build up to the Shadow Ball, go for the Psy Strike, and they've got a shield to be sure that they don't get one-hit KO'd. We are going to go ahead and shield ourselves. This is probably just going to be a Psy Strike, and then they are probably going to get to another one. They do get to another one here, but this isn't quite going to KO. So we're going to be able to get to our own Psy Strike here, and this is going to basically eat up the switch clock. So we do get to one. We're going to go ahead, swap into Groudon, go for the Fire Punch. This is either going to take out the Mewtwo or force the second shield. They get the second shield, and then they do a swap on our second Fire Punch into Excadrill. So I need to build up as much energy as I can, but I know that I can do at least one more Mud Shot on this Mewtwo before they get to another Psy Strike. So I go almost to 2 Fire Punches, then I throw one Mud Shot to get to the second one here, and that Fire Punch is going to take out the Mewtwo. So that's going to be a good game. Able to go 5-0 in that second set. Really nice. Had some pretty decent plays there. But also had some fairly favorable leads to begin with. Actually, I guess it was two Giratinas, which are favorable, two Groudons, which are unfavorable, and a Giratina altered, which is fairly neutral. So, um, pretty good all in all, but really happy to go 5-0 there. And this set is going to bring us up to 28-27. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.